this tutorial is going to look at mapping a set of values that are being input to a range that is desirable for whatever application you're creating. So let's walk through this code a little bit. And you're somewhat familiar with mapping already if you've ever set the ranges in color mode. So because the color picker in color mode uses 360, 100, 100 for the ranges for HSB, we want to map it to those values so that we can use the color picker to actually get the same values. So that's what this does, is make sure that the ranges that are in HSB are mapped to 0 to 360, 0 to 100, and 0 to 100. So what we did was we created a single variable, and that's going to control the fill of two different rectangles, specifically the hue, because it's in the hue position. And we are mapping that value based on an input, which is the mouse X position. So that's the value that we're grabbing. And the next two values are the values that are expected from mouse X and mouse Y. So this is the range we would expect of a minimum and maximum from 0 to width, right, for mouse X. And this is what we want to map it to, 0 to 360. So if you imagine it's 0 to 500, so at 250 at the midpoint, it would be remapped, it would be 180. So 250 would be converted to 180, 500 would be converted to 360, and obviously 0 would still be 0 because that's the starting point. And then we would get a fill, and that would change dynamically as we moved the mouse back and forth across. And we draw a rectangle which is drawn from the corner 0, 0, full width, and half the height. And then we have a second fill, and we're mapping it again. Same variable input. We're using the mouse X data as it comes in, and we expect the same value, 0 to width, except we're flipping it, so we're actually inverting the output. So the first value is 360, and the last value is 0. So it actually inverts the color response. So when we get to 500, that equates to 0. When we get to half of the width, that's still 180. But between the middle and the far right, it goes 180 down to 0. So it actually inverts the numerical relationship. And so we'll get the opposite sort of flowing through the spectrum in the lower rectangle. So if we run this to demo it, you can see we've got two different colors. And so 0 and 360 are both red. So right at the edge, we're getting the same value. And as I move forward, right when we get to the middle, we should have some overlap. Yeah, see? So that's probably 180, thereabouts, right there. And then we're cycling back through. Right, so if we remember, that's about 80%. So it's kind of a pink color. If we go 80% on the other side, see, now we have the pink color on the bottom. See, so the color relationships are completely inverted. Okay.